Okay, this song is in standard tuning and it's going to be taking place up here on the 7th fret. The first thing that we need to know about this song, I think, is which strings are going to be involved. It's going to be the 6th, 5th, 4th, and 3rd strings. Your 1st and 2nd strings will not be involved in this main riff. And the way that we're fretting this riff, you should be able to actually strum across all of the chords, or all the strings rather. And the way that we're fretting our notes, these top 2 strings should be muted or blocked out anyway, so they would be inconsequential, that you could hit them, but it not affect the tone of the chords and the notes that you're striking. The next thing that we need to know about this riff is the chord that Dave Matthews is making. He's making 2 chords. The first is this, the second is this. And he's making the first chord with his first finger on the 7th fret of the 6th string, second finger on the 9th fret of the 5th string, and then 4th finger on the 11th fret of the 4th string. The second chord that he moves his first finger to the 7th fret of the 3rd string. His second finger goes down on the 9th fret of the 4th string, and then his ring finger goes down on the 10th fret of the 5th string. And that's the movement of the chords. Before you learn anything else, it would be really good if you could get that movement down in your fingers. And you may just want to practice without picking, just moving in 8th notes right there, along with the movement, going 1st finger, 2nd finger, 4th finger, 1st finger, 2nd finger, 3rd finger, 1st, 2nd, 4th, 1st, 2nd, 3rd on the strings 6, 5, 4, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5, 4, 3, 4, 5, going up, then back down with your fingers, just so that you can get that motion in your mind. The next thing that we want to know about this song is the division of count that is taking place. These are actually 8th notes that these strikes would be taking place on. If you count the measure as 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is actually 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So the 4 and the and don't have anything on the first run. On the second run, though, Dave Matthews actually walks it on down in such a fashion of 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, moving out of this chord, hitting the 5th string ring finger on the 10th fret, down to the 5th string 9th fret with your 2nd finger, and then ending it on the 5th string 7th fret with your pointer finger. He does that every other time. So one time it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, alright? So that's the progression and the movement of the notes. But the strumming is actually taking place in 16th notes, where you take that subdivision of 8th notes and divide it in half again into 16th notes, to what you're actually getting is 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. The way that I've always been taught to count it is 1 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. So That's the strumming pattern that you would need to get down. But the way that Dave Matthews plays it is not, string for string. It's usually just all strings at the same time that he's strumming across. And the way that he's fretting, he's doing it in such a way that only the notes that you want to be coming out are coming out at the same time while he strums across most strings. So he's strumming across all the strings, following this 1E, a 2E, a 3E, a 4E. Also, there seems to be accents on the 2 and the 4. So if you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Anyway, it's kind of hard to count and play and strum all at the same time, but you should be able to hear accents happening on the 2 and the 4 of each measure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, the other two movements of this song are generally pretty easy. They are, you're just going to be fretting octave notes pretty much the whole time. It moves down to an A, so first finger on the 6th string 5th fret, and then he plants his pinky finger on the 4th string 7th fret. And you're blocking out the way that you're fretting with your pointer finger. You're only fretting on the 6th string and letting it lazily lay on the 5th string, so it's blocking out the 5th string. You don't hear that A in there. So you're just hearing those two notes, and then he moves his pointer finger to the 5th string 5th fret and leaves his pinky where it is. And then he reaches down with his pointer finger, leaving the pinky where it is the whole time in this movement, to the 6th string 3rd fret of this G note, and then strums across that. And again, the only notes that are actually ringing out are the two being fretted, 6-3 and 4-7. Throughout the entire time, you're just hearing those two notes ring for the most part. And he's strumming across almost all the strings, but with all these other fingers that you're not using, you're just kind of allowing it to lazily lay across the notes or across the strings that aren't being fretted so that they don't ring out. And then you strum pattern through it. A lot of times he will pull up into this D out of the 5th string 4th fret up into the D right there. Sometimes you may see him actually keep this 5th string 5th fret fretted as he goes to the G, and sometimes he'll fret that with his ring, his 2nd finger right there. So you can do that with a couple of different frettings, strumming through it. Then, the next movement, he jogs up a step to this B major feel. And same frettings as before in terms of fingers, you're just doing a root and an octave for the B note. So 6th string 7th fret, 4th string 9th fret. And then he moves with his pointer finger to the 5th string 7th fret, leaving your pinky where it is, and then slides up a step to this F sharp. First string, or first finger on the 5th string 9th fret now, and pinky finger on the 4th string 11th fret. Power chord. And then he slides it back down and strums through it. And the way that he strums, it's kind of a mixture of bringing in 16th notes or 8th notes, or just kind of single whole notes throughout the time. It's a mixture of rhythm, and you can play along and hear what he's doing there. Coming out of this little B part, coming out of that, he hits down into a G octave and slides up into an A octave. And what I mean by octave is that you've just got the root and the octave of the chord that you're playing. So the G octave would be first finger on the 6th string 3rd fret, pinky finger on the 4th string 5th fret, allowing everything else to just be muted by lazily touching down on the other strings with, you know, parts of your fingers that you're not using here, and then sliding up into this A right here. First finger on the 5th fret of the 6th string, pinky finger on the 7th fret of the 4th string, A octave. And then it goes back into the main riff that we've talked about. Alright, lastly, out of this main riff, the very last time, Dave Matthews walks it down and then slides down into an A chord where you got the open A, and then I fret the 5th of the chord there, which is the 4th string 2nd fret. And then leaving this finger here, move into a G. Take your 2nd finger and put it on the 6th string 3rd fret, G fret, and then walk it down again to the 2nd fret. I do that with my thumb. And then walk it down one more time to the F note, 6th string 1st fret. I do it with my thumb. I'm not sure how Dave Matthews does it. I think he does some different frettings there. But it's the exact same notes. And then the very last chord is this weird E chord, which you will make with your 2nd finger on the 5th string 2nd fret, pinky finger on the 4th string 4th fret, 1st finger on the 3rd string 1st fret, and then let everything else ring out. So you've got to arch your hand in such a way that anything that's not being fretted can ring out. So I'm trying to give you a good look at that chord. And that's Warehouse.